Welcome back to WP Sports Desk. I'm here with Greg, Wyatt, Justin, and Danny, and we're going to break down Super Bowl 51. Let's get right into the highlights. Greg?
All right, we're heading out to Houston as Tom Brady is leading the Patriots in for his 7th Super Bowl, trying to get his 5th ring, playing against the Atlanta Falcons. And the Falcons were the ones who got on the board early as Devontae Freeman takes it outside. How about that? He gets into end zone, give him the 7-point lead early. Later in the second quarter, Matt Ryan's going up top to Austin Hooper for a touchdown, making it 14-0 Atlanta. Penalty was on New England, so the call would stand. Later in the quarter, Brady trying to get the Patriots on board, but Houston, we have a problem. He's going to get intercepted by Robert Alford, who's going to return 82 yards. Look at all that green he has in front of him. 21-0 Falcons, and Brady on the sideline. He's going to call for help from a higher power as they're down 21-0. Early in the second half, Atlanta just keeps going. So he's going to go up top Taylor Gabriel. Now, as you can see on the replay, he's going to put Malcolm Butler on skates. So that was a big gain. Later in the drive, he's going to find Tevin Coleman out of the backfield. He's going to get into end zone for a touchdown, 28-3 Atlanta, flying high. But it wouldn't last long as Devontae Hightower strips Ryan. Alton Branch would cover, Sam Brady in good field position. He's liking it, Ryan in disbelief. And he'd make them pay as Danny Amendola scores a touchdown. Now they'd have to go for 2. They'd get it, 1 possession game. And they're not done here. Julian Edelman, we got shades of David Tyree here. As the ball gets tipped, he's going to pull it off the defender's leg. See, the ball never touches the ground. So later in that drive, after the call is confirmed, James White up the middle for a touchdown. Now once again, they'd have to go for 2 to tie, and he's going to find Amendola to tie the game. We'd have free football for a first time ever in the Super Bowl. Now, he's explained the size of the coin, not that we don't know that, but Patriots get the ball first. And Chris Hogan, the Jersey boy, gets the Patriots into field goal range. A few plays later, he's going to hand off to James White, and that is your Super Bowl because White will put out his way into end zone, giving the Patriots and Tom Brady their 5th ring.
Our very own Wyatt Cal was in Houston for the game. Wyatt, what was the game day experience like?
Well, I can tell you, Chris, it was incredible. I don't care if you were there as a fan or working. I was there working. I mean, I'm a big fan, grew up a Patriots fan, and I can tell you I was mad as ever through that first half, going down 21-3. I thought the halftime show was amazing. It looks a little bit different in person than it does on TV, but it was still great. Patriots coming back. There was every celebrity you could ever imagine at the Super Bowl. The security was incredible. There was police officers to Secret Service. I saw Mike Pence walking around. Abby Wambach was in the suite right next to us. Everyone was at this Super Bowl, and I think, really, it was the greatest Super Bowl of all time. Patriots come back down from 25, first overtime Super Bowl. The emotion in the stadium, it didn't feel corporate one bit. It felt like there was fans. It felt like there was, and Atlanta fans were mad coming out of that game, but still, they respected what they had just seen from Tom Brady.
It sounded like you had an awesome time, Wyatt. We're a little jealous over here. And the Patriots, they came back for a big win. Do you think the Patriots had the win or Atlanta really lost this game?
I think New England won the game because if you look at the graphic, Tom Brady in the fourth quarter was unbelievable. They just couldn't stop him. He was 21 for 27 passing. He threw for 246 yards, 2 touchdowns, and they had to go for 2 twice. They got them, including that throw to Amendola that you saw on the highlight.
I mean, those stats speak for themselves. 246 yards in the fourth quarter alone. Tom Brady and the Patriots won this game. I do give a little bit of an assist to the Falcons and their attitude. I have to imagine they were a little more playful than they should have been in the locker room at halftime, and they didn't come out ready in the second half.
See, now for me, it was a little bit different. Unfortunately, that we can't really see it, but the Falcons are on the edge of a 53-yard field goal. They go up by 11 points with like 2 minutes to go in the game. No one's scoring 11 points in 2 minutes to go. I mean, for me, when Matt Ryan got sacked, trying to throw the ball instead of running the ball, that was really the biggest play of the game.
I go with the Falcons losing the game because they could not find a way to stop Tom Brady. Their defense was on the field much longer than their offense was. Matt Ryan only threw the ball 23 times, while Tom Brady threw it for 63. So they dominated the time of possession, and ultimately the Falcons got burnt out.
All right, guys. Now, the Super Bowl was exciting, but we got to start previewing towards next year. Let's preview some Giants football. We'll start with you. Who are the Giants going to pick up? What's their big need?
Well, I mean, for me, and I think we all really saw last year, is that the Giants' third-year McAdoo's offense, it really wasn't what we were expecting. So I think all of us pretty much picked, if you look at our graphics right here, is that we all said offensive side of the ball is a big need. For me personally, I just said playmaker in general. Either they're going to need someone on the outside, like a Hakeem Neck style 6'2" wide receiver, or just somewhere else to take the pressure off of Odell.
A running back is important to the Giants because Eli Manning needs to be able to run the ball effectively and get pressure off of him having to constantly throw the ball on 3rd and short situations. So they can either get a free agent in either Adrian Peterson or build through the draft.
Greg?
I think they need to fix up that left tackle position. Eric Flowers has been terrible. He's allowed, I think, the most pressures over the last 2 years. So they really need an upgrade.
It's hard to run an efficient offense when you have as little time as Eli Manning did on most cases this year. So they really need to develop a strong running back so they could open up downfield for Eli to make throws to a playmaker wide receiver should they get one, Odell Beckham, Will Tye. And if they used the committee this year, they had some success with Paul Perkins and, some of the others, but they need to really find one guy to really hitch their wagon to and get behind instead of trying to go with the committee.
All right, now let's switch over to their roommate, the New York Jets. They definitely need a quarterback. That's their biggest need going in. Justin, who's going to be the quarterback next year?
Well, if you take a look at what we all said, quarterbacks are important, but I go with Jay Cutler because he has 2 former teammates there with Matt Forte and Brandon Marshall, so that previous chemistry could be not a long-term, but a short-term answer to at least get them in a winning situation to have decent draft picks to then build with other free agents.
See, I wouldn't be surprised if the Jets go free agency because that's typically what they do. They like to sign veteran free agents. However, I think this year they really need to get serious and draft a young quarterback. Deshaun Watson right now, his draft status is really up in the air. The Jets can even conceivably trade down and get extra picks.
That's a good point.
As far as Watson, though, they just drafted Petty and Hackenberg the last 2 years, so I think they'll go the veteran route and sign Mike Glenn.
Well, after Dak Prescott's success, it seems that Dallas is more than willing to, ride him out. So I think we're going to see Tony Romo wearing green. I think there's a lot of weapons on that team, and if they have a good, healthy Romo under center, I think they could do some damage.
Yeah, we're just going to have to wait for some free agency. That's all for football. When we come back, Riggy and the hockey guys are going to talk about what's on ice. Don't go anywhere.